Well, welcome back to Life Group. We've got this week, and then we've got next week, and then we are done with this semester of Life Groups for about a month and a half or so. And I'm already looking forward to getting back together again. But just as a fair warning, next week is the last week. If you guys want to get together for one more week after Easter and just do a potluck or have some fun, you can talk about that in your individual groups and see what you guys want to do. But they'll officially be over next week. And so also I want to just take a couple seconds and remind you guys as well that not this Sunday, obviously, but next Sunday, it's right around the corner. Easter is there. So whoever you're going to invite, whoever you've been praying for, just make that final reach out. If you have any invite cards left, get them into somebody's hands as soon as you can, because it's going to be here. Also, we are going to be passing out door hangers as well, so you can pick those up Sunday if you want to hit some of your neighbors and put some door hangers on their doorknobs. Also, this Saturday, we're going to be going through some neighborhoods around here as well and trying to get as many door hangers as we can. So if you're interested in helping us out, please give us a text or call at the number that's on your screen right now. Anyways, without any further ado, let's get right into it.
Don't tell me it's not worth fighting for. I can't help it, there's nothing I want more. You know it's true, everything I do it for you.
Okay, so jumping right into it, Song of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 1, says this. It says, "How beautiful your sandaled feet." And so we talked about this on Sunday, that in chapter 4, on the honeymoon night, he starts at her hair and works his way down. Actually, just in this region, that's it. Nothing more. And so in 7, when the relationship has deepened, and they've gone along, and they've had some years underneath their belt, he starts with her feet and then works his way up, because the relationship has changed. It's not just about the top region. It's about starting with a place that may not be so beautiful to a lot of people, which is the feet, and talking about how beautiful that is, how beautiful she is, how beautiful her character is, how much he loves her from the bottom all the way up, because things have changed. How many know things change, guys? We also brought these pictures in Sunday. Check these out. So we can all see that we have not changed at all, especially me. You can see here that this is when I used to be anorexic. No, I'm just joking. But I used to be able to eat as much as I wanted to, and then after I got done eating as much as I wanted to, go to an all-you-can-eat buffet and not gain any weight. So anyways, those are the pictures. In verse 4, it says this. It says that your neck is an ivory tower. So he's by verse 4 has worked his way up to her neck. Remember in chapter 4, he described her neck as a tower of David, and on it hung 1,000 shields. And he's moved away from that very masculine term, from something very masculine with 1,000 shields on it. Something it's regal, but it's masculine. And so here he's moved to a white ivory tower. We talked about this too, that ivory, when it's harvested, something has to die. You just don't get ivory by planting something in the ground. Something's got to die for that to happen. And we discussed this, that if we want our relationships to deepen and mature, no matter whether we're talking about a spouse, which that's what the whole series is about, but whether it's your spouse or whether it's your boss or your friend or a coworker, or maybe it's your son or daughter, that if we want those relationships to deepen to the deepest place, we've got to die to ourselves to make that happen. So here's the first question. Why does it take dying to our selfish desires to further our relationships to the next level? So when you think about it, what do you want out of the relationships that are closest to you? You want to be understood. You want to be refreshed when you're around those relationships. You want them to be safe and secure. So listen to this. As we continue through verse 4, listen to what it says. Your eyes are the pools of Heshbon by the gate of Bath Rabbim. Remember we talked about these pools. They were 25 miles east of the Jordan River, and they were hand carved out of rock. And it took a lot of time, energy, and effort, a lot of work to create these pools. Remember, not only did it take a lot of time, but that these pools they were fed by a fresh spring, and so the water when it came in, it was crystal clear. And not only was it clear, but it didn't have any movement. It was a reflection. You could look down in that water and you could see a perfect reflection of your face. And so our relationships, they take time, energy, effort, work. And when the longer these relationships go on, you can look into their eyes. You can see a reflection a lot of times of yourself. And you can see deep into who they are. We also talked about this fact as well, that the relationships that are closest to us, and specifically speaking of a spouse at this point, our other relationships, they still can apply in this way, but those pools were like a spa. It was a place of safety, place of security, a place to come and get refreshed. Matter of fact, look at this. Proverbs 11:25 says, a generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. Those relationships that we have around us can be very refreshing. As a matter of fact, I think we need to be refreshing ourselves. Here's the second question for tonight. How can we become refreshing to those that are around us? So lastly tonight, and by the way, guys, thanks again for coming tonight. Can't wait to see you guys again next week. But as we continue on, we're going to read the last part of verse 4 and a little bit of verse 5. Check this out. Your nose is like the Tower of Lebanon looking toward Damascus. Your head crowns you like Mount Carmel. Your hair is like royal tapestry. The king is held captive by its tresses. Remember we were talking about Mount Carmel, how it's 1,700 feet in elevation. And about how it was a place that not only was it high in elevation, but it rained a lot. So it was a very, very beautiful area. It was very rich and lush and green. But not only was it just beautiful, there were some idiosyncrasies about it. I mean, for instance, being up 1,700 feet, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Colorado or somewhere where it's really high up. It's a little bit hard to breathe sometimes. Also, when it rains a lot, like it does sometimes here in Cleveland, it's not necessarily the ideal weather, but it's beautiful. And so what this is kind of saying is a very, very beautiful area, but at the same time, there's these idiosyncrasies that we find in our relationships around us that maybe they could either annoy us completely until the day we die, or we can grow to love them. And so that's a choice that we've got to make in our relationships, because we have to realize there are some things that may never change, and it's got to be okay. So here's the last question. Actually, it's not really a question, it's a discussion. Discuss your thoughts on accepting someone else's idiosyncrasies.